शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्मलमोतीहार दिव्याला पाहून नमस्कार दिव्याचे ते कापसाची वार दिवा देवी देवापाशी उजेड पडे विष्णू पाशी माझा नमस्कार सर्व देव देवतांपाशी ये ग लक्ष्मी बैस बाजे माझं घर तुला साजे
सायन प्रबंध ज्ञान शोध ज्ञान सृजन का कुंज हमारा परम पावन।
Again, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate our guest of honor.
भावना पाठक, Professor Rahul Tripathi, and many more who are likely to come tomorrow, and my dear students.
Of 12 years of teaching and research in political science is teaching in SIS, CUG. She has contributed 29 research papers in
अमित सर, आप सभी का स्वागत है। उसके साथ साथ मैं इस संगोष्ठी में
From then on, if you read the literature on Viksit 2047, various ministers, ministries, political scientists, IR specialists, all are writing or reading or analyzing or holding seminar on how to realize the case. Indians cannot have a per capita income of $40,000 plus at a time. Does it mean that we can never become a lot of money? But it doesn't have the ability that is expected of, which is smaller than Delhi in size, in population, which have tremendous amount of military power. Recall Russia. is waging a war in Ukraine for years now. And the Western countries are together.
Thank you, Malavika ji, for those very kind words. क्या है इस पर काफी हमारे चर्चा हुई। कुछ लोगों को लगा कि रशियन मॉडल बड़ा अच्छा है, उसे हमें स्वीकार करना चाहिए। और रशियन मॉडल क्या था? बेसिकली रशियन मॉडल का भी जो आधार था वो
India was contributing 25 to 30% of the world GDP. And from that Engels medicine book I am quoting, that in 1810, 1870, it became 12%. And by 19, that GDP became only 3%. Literacy only 12%. So India got independence, rather political independence as you put it. We became independent country in 1947. So from 1947 we have been marching ahead. विकास का मॉडल क्या होना चाहिए? माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 5 प्रण लेने को बोला जनता से कि 5 भारत का बन सकता है. And that was very essential as you pointed out. कि हम पहले मनुष्य के पहले अपना विकास करें, तो 5 प्रण में पहला प्रण है 5 resolves we can tell. First, विकसित भारत का प्रण.
लास्ट टाइम
बात करते हुए आपस में कि हाँ ऐसे लोग ऐसे करके
कम से कम इधर तो देखो भाई.
Adani power is also there, but many. One more important point, when we talk about development, that is scientific and technological, because with innovation and with innovative mind, when good entrepreneurs are there, then only can solve societal problems. So today India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. Third largest startup ecosystem.
Bharat 2047, shaping India's global engagement. One big thank you is certainly reserved to organize this enlightening conference. We are very sure that the students will definitely benefit from it. The program certainly would not have been possible without our distinguished resource persons. We would certainly like to thank them for taking out time from their busy schedules and who will be sharing their ideas in the following sessions. Please support. Further, we would also like to thank our faculty colleagues from School of International Studies, Dr. Saurabh Sharma and Mr. Manish Bhartwal. We would also express our gratitude towards deans and chairpersons.
I request all the respected faculty members to kindly come for the group photograph. All the participants. We request all the guests present here, our teachers and all the participants for the group photograph.
As an editor cum analyst in a government organization dealing with security and international relations. She has also had a brief stint with mainstream journalism as a sub-editor at ANI. Apart from history, she has also domain expertise in the field of security, terrorism, geopolitics and gender and Russia, and deals with debate on feminism. She is also the receiver of Vishwakarma Award given by the government.
Have good Q&A, good discussion. Secondly, also generally I am very strict here person in this kind of sessions. I also know that when you are talking,
जैसे आपने इसको कर दिया ठीक है फोटो लोगे उसके बाद
Record नहीं रावल.
Here also and there also. So can we continue with strategic ambiguity for long, particularly when Trump and
Period, which
stands for contested multilateralism and parallel institutionalization. It is a story of rising regional powers dissatisfied with the existing orders. While its popularity has increased after Russia-Ukraine war, when BRICS refused to.
In my view, BRICS is going to survive, but de-dollarization, anti-Western policy, in fact, in quite a few summits, it was India which tried to prevent any impression that BRICS is becoming anti-Western. The Russians and the Chinese were together, and because Donald Trump and later Joe Biden involving in some kind of economic cold war against China, and of course they're opposing Russians' military intervention in Ukraine and the continuing war, that is why their bond was increasing. The limitlessness of the relationship emerged out of the Ukraine war. Otherwise, it would not have happened. Right? So it is going to continue, and its importance is very much there. Who knows after Trump what will happen? The distance of Trump is
because we have already encroached the time of lunch and we are running this session quite late, and I would try my best to honor this time given to me. It's kind of 10 or 12 minutes. Offered by President Trump. So in next 10 minutes I'm going to focus primarily on the strategic dimension of the relationship, while the dimension will present which requires massive rearmament of Europe. I would say reconsideration of the whole concept, how Europe is to be defended. So the idea.
For Dr. Amit, so your lecture was very engaging, but I would also like you to share some
So it's going to definitely transform because it's going to impact our own foreign relations. We have always been very
started making inroads during the third industrial revolution. Today, as you know, that we are in the fourth industrial revolution, and the subtle difference between the third and fourth industrial revolution is that from the word weapon system and other aspect is of autonomous weapon systems. I think the moment you use the word autonomous weapon systems, that means it is a system which will be totally controlled by AI. There is no human intervention into it, and the system will fire on its own. The decision to kill another man, or we should leave that decision to the machine. There could be various issues of a debate over here, but the point over here is that as far as the development of a technology is concerned, this is the automation has turned into autonomous weapon systems, and that is the most important thing over here. So this is the way.
Yeah, good.
Evolve as an autonomous domain where technology itself guides the way you look at enemy, the way you create enemy, the way to the domain of conflict and warfare. So thank you for your presentation, and now I will invite Professor Arun Viswanathan.
At the outset, I would
like to thank Professor Manish, School of International Studies, ICSR, for this international study. Within the in many of these areas is that we continue to work in isolation, continue to work in silos, and rarely do departments, line ministries speak to each other. In what
Prime Minister Modi, it is about 106 million followers. That's how they do diplomacy also. So this is where this is also again a place where public also discuss. Then some of the key aspects of 4 million followers. Then as far as the MEA is concerned, it's about 2.3. So in one way we have to increase it. These are some again slide number 11. You might also be confused because I put something there. So India's contribution to the global cyber affairs, one is we understand that it is Twitter diplomacy or some Facebook diplomacy where you try to elements which should go
warfare, where you control information, where you disseminate information the way you want to disseminate, and you change. There was a parallel thing. So very important area that we all of us should keep a close. Next speaker is Dr. Saurabh Kumar.
First of all, I are in 62 with the in the leadership of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai when he convinced then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru that this is going to be a
to felicitate Professor Arun Vishwanathan sir.
Nehru University, Dr. Palu Joshi, Head of Political Science at Kanodia, PG Mahila Mahavidyalaya Research Association SIP. She is an active member of the Indian Science Congress, Nepal Chemical Society, and International Association of Advanced Material. Ma'am, we are honored to have you here today. Now, it's my privilege to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker, a contribution to rising security concerns in India and intersecting realities of health procedures and governance in India. Sir, we are delighted to have you here today. Now, I would like to hand over the session to the chairperson, Professor Bhavna Patil.
It's my pleasure to be here to be a panelist on this very important session. As we all know, when we are talking about Viksit Bharat, we cannot leave the topic climate.
Prepare my PPT, but I'm very much grateful to the Central University of Gujarat, especially Professor Manish sir and Dr. Preeti Sharma also for their kind invitation. And without any further ado, I just want to focus, and my main argument is whether the water security can be achieved. Question to you also, but before when I was going and preparing for this lecture, I came through a lot of literature which was there, and till then I had niche area. We often talk about the air pollution in India and specifically in Delhi. Even China had the same problem, but as of now I just want to focus more on a domestic area, because in the international relation or the geopolitical context also, we have seen many problems which we are also facing with our transboundary water system. Whether it is with the Pakistan in the Indus Water Treaty, whether with the China in the Brahmaputra case. We had a kind of a problem in Bangalore and Delhi, where we have had a shortage of water. So what I see this as a change, how we can overcome this kind of a challenge in India also.
Strength. Yeah, thank you. So there are a lot of factors which favor India, or which present India as a major player in global health diplomacy. It is the biggest biomedical research funders in the world.
You're looking
what kind of future we'll have in 2047. Definitely we have to look at present, what kind of scenario India is having in basically present times. What kind of growth rate?
Initially, to the first session, Professor Mahapatra, who has been my guru too, because I have worked under his supervision. So he has categorically mentioned almost all the points. So technically, I can.
I'd like to request Professor Manish, Dean of SIS, to felicitate Professor Bhavna Pathak.